Hey y'all, I want to show you how I use this bed head. It is a Wave Artist crimper and it's one of my favorite quick, easy tools that I use to get a really cute mermaid styled wave, I guess. It's not really a curl, it's more of a wave, and it's kind of like with that crimping motion. So it really depends on honestly how you hold it too. You can go upside down to get a little volume. You can go flat forward. And what I like to do is I like to interchange it. So I'm going to show you how I do it. First of all, you want to start by turning it on, and I set it at high. That's the setting I use. And one thing that I like to use that I actually don't have with me is a glove. So I'm going to run and grab that. I'll be right back. I grab my glove, and this is just to save my hand in case that hot iron hits my hand or my wrist, which I've done before, and I actually have a scar there from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half the top of my head. Okay, I'm going to take all that hair, and I'm just going to wrap it up in a loose bun just to get it out of the way, because this is the part we're going to do last. Okay, so I just want to get that up. Now what I want to do is I want to start, I actually like to start in the back, but we're going to start on this side just to make things easy. And I'm going to grab, I don't want to grab too much hair because I don't want it to fall out of the wand. So I'm just going to grab about 2 inches of hair, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to crimp it. Since the crimper is so wide, I'm going to actually go ahead and crimp it right in the center, all the way around this under part of my hair. Now this upper part, I'll show you, we're going to do a couple more crimps. But because the length down low on your head is shorter, we're going to go ahead and just start. Hopefully this is warmed up enough to show y'all. So I'm going to start with coming in on where the font is down, and I'm going to go in right here. And I am going to, actually, you know what? This piece is longer, so I'm going to go ahead and crimp it twice. So I'm going to crimp it. I'm just going to hold for like 5 to 8 seconds. And then I'm going to crimp, and then I'm going to move it down. And you can, when you take the crimp out, what you want to do is you don't want to pull it straight. You want to just kind of hold it to where it can kind of let that curl set once the heat's gone. And then you're gonna drop it. Okay, so there's your first curl, and you can kind of, hold it up there for a second as you move on to the next. So I'm just gonna piece it, and I'm gonna go around the head like so. And honestly, if I'm trying to do a really good job on my hair, what I'll do is I'll actually separate it into 3s. So I'll have the lower bottom, I'll just basically pull more up top than I did today. I'll pull up, say, from here around. That way I'll have the smallest short layer at the bottom, and then I'll have these layers in the middle, and then I'll have this upper layer up top. But because this crimp is so simple and it doesn't require much to hold it there, you don't have to wrap around or anything like that like you would with a traditional iron, it's pretty quick to just go ahead and put in 2 waves on those longer pieces, and then on the shorter pieces I'll show you, we're going to just do 1 wave. And it doesn't matter if the bottom pieces are curled or not. I've actually done it both ways, where some of the lower pieces are actually, the last inch or so is actually straight and not curled, and it actually gives it a really cute funky look, and I really like the look of that too. So since this part is shorter, obviously you see I have it up to my head, and I can't get more than 1 crimp out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it down a little bit more, so I get a little more of the bottom, and I'm just going to crimp and hold it. And then there's the curl. And we're just going to work our way around the hair on the bottom. Obviously, these back pieces are a little more difficult to reach, and they're shorter, so just grab what you can. Remember not to get too much. And then we're just going to take it and find that center part of the hair, crimp down. Now this is a little thicker piece, so I'm just going to hold it for a few extra seconds, probably 10 seconds. Okay, and there we go. So now that I am on the back portion of the hair, I'm just going to try my best to bring it to the side. Since I'm right-handed, it's so much easier for me to crimp on the left side. So I'm just gonna take that. Since this is also a shorter piece, I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna crimp it right there in the middle. You see you've got a little piece hanging that's gonna be straight, which is great. And you can actually interchange this, do one facing up, one facing down, one facing up, one facing down. But because this is the bottom layer, not really gonna see it. It's just providing more volume than anything. You're not really gonna be able to see this curl as well as obviously the layer that's gonna go on top. So I'm not too picky about what I'm doing down here. I just wanna get a good curl going, a good little bit of volume, and we obviously don't want those under pieces to be completely flat. So we're just gonna give them a little curl and work our way around to the other side. I have kind of like that inverted bob going on my haircut right now. So the front layers, or the front of my hair, is definitely a little longer. This will probably be the last one where I will only do one crimp, and then on these longer pieces in the front, I'm going to do two. Well, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab it, and I'm not gonna pull it tight. I'm just gonna go ahead and put in that second crimp, and notice I'm not pulling down as I'm crimping, I'm holding up. That way, as this hair cools, you're allowing it to set and not be pulled down to where it will lose some of its curl, okay? So that's layer one. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this down and go ahead and start. So I'm gonna pull this part. This is where it gets a little tricky. I wanna pull all of this forward without getting it mixed in with what I've gotta do back here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start on this side. And sometimes it's nice to be able to put this part up while you're curling the pieces, but for this video, I'm just gonna throw it down, okay? So we're gonna do layer two, and it really looks nice if you can comb through and get this hair, if it's a little knotted or whatever, go ahead and get it straight and unknotted. So I'm still facing down on this crimper. The reason I'm doing it on this upside down basically is I want to go as close as I can to the head, and I want to, if I flip it this way, it's actually going to give a little bump of volume at the top of my head. See how it kind of bumps right there? And that's what I want, because I want to create a little extra volume than what it would do if I were to curl it this way versus this way. So that's kind of one thing that I've learned just by doing my hair with this crimper, that I actually like the look of it better when I do it that way. So now I have to go in and find the piece I just took down because I didn't put it back up in a clip, which, my bad, I should have done that. Okay, so here's the next piece, and I'm going to do the same thing, get it close to the head, and I'm going to actually, instead of holding it down like that, I'm going to hold it up. That's going to create that little extra bump of volume there. And then you're going to move it down. And like I said, holding it up while you're curling that second portion to allow this curl to set. Okay, so there's another good curl. Now what we want to do is we want to take this top part and we want to decide where we want our hair to part. So typically what I do is I like everything to go to my left, and I like to have a little on the right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to separate it. I'm going to go ahead and get the back portions first because I can't see those as well once they go back there, and I don't want to mix them up with any hair that is already curly. So this is typically how I do the top portion. I am just going to crimp it, and this is gonna definitely get 2 crimps. So crimp it up by the head. Again, every curl that I'm doing today is going to be upside down, just to get that extra bump of volume on the top. Hold it, and then I'm gonna go down to about right there, and let's crimp it again. Holding for 8 to 10 seconds. Remember, it's on high, so we don't want to burn our hair. We just want to get that little bit of curl and let it go. All right, so now we're pulling the next piece, which is right here. You can see where the hair is separated, and that's curly. So we're gonna grab this piece, and it's pretty thick, so I'm gonna go ahead and take out a small chunk of that to add to my next one. And we're gonna do the same thing. And because all of this hair I want to be parted on my left, I'm going to go ahead and curl it on the left. Like, I'll wake up tomorrow morning and I'll definitely still have a curl. And it's pretty easy to touch up too. For touch-ups like next day, if I still have quite a bit of curl, usually, yeah, the day after, I will just go through and I'll just do the top portions. I'll just brush it with, or pick it out, not really brush it, but just pick the hair. And then, what I'll do is I'll go through and just curl, I'll separate like I did that top portion and just go around and curl that top portion. And because the bottom portion already has somewhat of a curl left in it, it looks just fine not having to go through and curl the whole thing again. So this should be the last piece. I'm gonna check the back just to make sure. If you have a mirror source to check it. I believe I got all of it. Yep. Okay, so after that, usually what I do is I never take a brush through it, but I do like to run my fingers through it, not pulling down, just kind of lifting up and just kind of separating those pieces a little bit. And that's it, y'all. Pretty simple. I like to finish with an Aveda hairspray. If you're interested in that, I actually don't have it with me. It's in the other room, but I'll post below if you like to see the hairspray that I use. It smells amazing. And I probably should have parted this a little more, but you can totally bring it over and it's fine. If you need to switch it up a little bit. Okay, so that's it. What do you think? Pretty easy, and it lasts. Pretty easy curl. And I recommend, if you're gonna be doing this type of curl, I recommend day 2 of hair wash. Don't do it on a fresh day. It just doesn't hold as well. And so this is day 3 for me. I just decided to curl it to show y'all because I had some requests. But anyway, I hope you like this tutorial. If you have any questions, post below. Thanks for watching.